I see why men are staying single, because look around. We have women out here bragging about not cooking, not cleaning, not taking care of their home.
Men with no hose. Where are you?
Where do people meet people? Where do men and women meet? Where am I supposed to meet a man? Because at the gym, they glance over, but they don't approach.
Where do single men between the ages of 28 and 40 go on Saturdays? And I don't mean like a specific restaurant or a specific location. I mean, generally speaking. Are they at the gym? Are they at a bar watching football? Are they on a hike? Are they at home doing additional work? Are they at the driving range? Are they getting brunch with their friends? What does a 28 to 40-year-old single man's typical Saturday look like?
Can someone explain to me how a man can go to work all day so his wife can stay home?
Sometimes I be having to remind myself that I'm a girl. Not because I be forgetting for real, but like when I be seeing certain things, like one person helping push a car somewhere, I be getting ready to hurry up and get out and help. But then I'm like, where are the men? Why are all the men on the street? Why are there no men helping push that car? Like, yeah, I do blue collar work. Yeah, military. Yeah, I'm strong. I be gymming. I don't need to be getting out pushing no car. Like, I was waiting like a few more seconds until the light turned green. Cause I'm like, damn, if nobody else is gonna get out and help, like, I'll get out and help. Or if it's like, real, like, not out of the way to go help. But where are the men? Why aren't the men helping push the cars? Make it make sense. Where are the men?
This is the dating pool she created. 61 college-educated 5M away, wants marriage monogamous, and fits every other preference. Men aren't responsible for making an extremely narrow filter produce endless options. The smaller the box, fewer men inside it.
Know where all the hot men are. This is where they are.
Listen, I'm from the South Bay, and I just had lunch down the street. I don't even know where I am. And just sitting there, I saw like 20 hot guys walk by me. Okay? I don't know if they're straight. Chances are. Probably are. Some of them, at least. This is where they are. I just saw 3 of them in a group over there. Seriously, I just saw another. Also, just like beautiful people in general. Like the women here, fashion. Just saw another one. I just saw more.
Men didn't suddenly forget how to plan dates. A lot of them learned that boldness can get you labeled creepy, pushy, or rejected, so now they're cautious. You can't spend years telling men to back off, then act surprised when they stop taking the initiative.
It's Valentine's Day, and 70% of men are choosing to stay single. And I don't even blame them, and this shouldn't be a shock to anybody. Dating in this generation is so impossible, and I can talk about it for literally days. It feels like every single woman in this generation is either a gold digger or a bop or both. And so yeah, a lot of men are saying, we choose to be single, we're not gonna deal with this anymore, and I get it. I wouldn't either. That sounds awful. I just saw someone say something today about how I would rather be single than settle. And yeah, me too. I get it, that's... me too. But it's crazy because you'll see women come online and be like, men are so sad and they're so single and they're so alone, but not me. I'm having a good time, just the men are having a bad time. And it's like, girl, be so serious for 2 minutes. Anyway, so happy Valentine's Day to all the singles out there. We see each other. We're right there.
No man gets a free pass to control a woman's phone, friends, or lifestyle. Absolutely not. But this is also a reminder that dating apps can bring out extreme personalities on both sides. Men are increasingly choosing peace because they don't want to enter a relationship where trust has to be replaced with surveillance. I deleted my Hinge account after this.
So I see why men are staying single, because look around. We have women out here bragging about not cooking, not cleaning, not taking care of their home, not being soft, and not being supportive. And then expecting a man to show up as a provider, leader, planner, protector, and lover, while giving him absolutely nothing in return. And yes, I will be the one to say it. A home needs a woman who actually enjoys being a woman. A woman who takes pride in making her home feel warm and peaceful. A woman who loves her man in the same way that she wants to be loved. That is not oppression, that is care. Men are tired of being treated like a walking wallet, tired of disrespect, tired of begging for affection and a little peace. So, they are choosing to stay single, not because they hate women, but because they are looking for a woman that values her role just as much as his. And honestly, I don't blame them, because relationships only work when both people show up and give.
And this is why men are cautious about dating apps. You can spend days messaging someone, then meet a completely different personality in person. The lesson isn't that all men are bad or all women are bad, it's that both sides need to vet carefully and walk away quickly when the energy is clearly wrong.
And let me tell you, the comments have me like shook. The amount of men saying that they don't want to get married because they don't want to have to take care of a woman is like absolutely mind-blowing to me. Like, love is dead. It's dead. Done.
For anyone that has been willing to listen to men over the last decade, they would realize that this isn't just an issue of men being lazy and not wanting to take care of a wife. That's not what this is. Men are saying this because they feel like they're having to give 100% and then receive nothing in return, maybe 10%, maybe 20%. They have felt that in their relationships. I think that women have given less and less. They have pushed for equality, which is great in many ways, but you can't push for equality in so many aspects where women were supposed to or expected to give all of that to a man. You push for equality in that, so men are taking up 50% of whatever that is. For example, child rearing, he's supposed to be there now just as much as she is. If you expect that to be 50-50, you need to expect other things to be 50-50. Things that at one time he was supposed to carry 100% of that load.
So where's the men that like the regular schmegula ass women? Like, I'm the type of woman, I ain't gotta always have my hair done. I ain't always gotta have my nails done. I ain't gotta have my lashes done. I got a real ass body. I got a little gut. I got some rolls and I got a little bit of ass. My ass ain't fat, but I got a little something there. I got some nice thighs. But I got a regular ass car, a regular ass house. My shit is just regular. Like, it seems like you men nowadays don't like us regular ass women. So I'm just trying to figure out, where's the men that like us regular ass women? Let me know something in the comments.
She was right to leave that situation, but this is exactly why men are also walking away from modern dating. One bad interaction can turn into accusation, screenshots, publish humiliation, and a permanent label. A lot of men are looking at that risk and saying, you know what, I'm good.
So can we agree that there is a difference between a man not making time for you and a man being busy working? Because I hear women all of the time talk about how they want a man to take care of them and provide for them and this, that, and the other, but then in the next breath, they're upset that they can't go and do everything with them. And I just think, like, you have to pick your battles. Like, you have to know that if you're going to be with somebody successful, most likely they're going to be busy. And so you have to factor that into your life. I think you should pick your battles, Like, what do you want? You want a man that works, or you want a man that you have to support?
Now this is what men are talking about. Went picked her up all the evening. Gandhis say they want appreciation. He planned the date, made the reservation, 58 seconds, created an experience. Notice how she loved every bit of masculine initiative when it benefited her. Men aren't stupid. They notice when effort is genuinely appreciated versus simply expected.
Women in the wild anymore. This guy, very kindly, I could see him staring at me and I'm like, oh, here we go. He just goes, I really like your dress. And that was it. And then he left me alone. And if he had kept going with the conversation, would I have talked to him? Yeah.
Your first reaction when you saw him looking at you was, here we go. Maybe he sensed the, here we go energy radiating from you and decided to leave you alone. And look, obviously there's all the discourse around this because a lot of women make the concept of approaching them seem very, very complicated, but insist that it's very, very simple. But honestly, what I want to talk about is, why would a man, where your first response when you see him looking at you is, here we go, why would you ever want him based off like the compliment that he gave you. Clearly, you're not that attracted to him. Like, imagine you're eyeing down a guy, like, at some sort of function or whatever, and he's like, okay, like, I guess. You don't know that, but then you find out years after the fact that you were an, I guess. You would ask, why would he even mess with you in the first place? So I pose you the same question, and that's what I'm saying. Like, women are conditioned to be with men they don't actually want. It's like you saw him, and the concept of, in your mind, him even approaching you exhausted you. You felt exhausted immediately off the concept of him saying something to you. And then you change your tune because he wasn't creepy, which again, congrats to him for not being creepy. But you see how that's not you having genuine interest in him? That's kind of you just being like persuaded a little bit. Like, why would you do that?
Where do single men between the ages of 28 and 40 go on Saturdays? And I don't mean like a specific restaurant or a specific location. I mean, generally speaking. Are they at the gym? Are they at a bar watching football? Are they on a hike? Are they at home doing additional work? Are they at the driving range? Are they getting brunch with their friends? What does a 28 to 40-year-old single man's typical Saturday look like? Because I can tell you what a Saturday for a 28 to 40-year-old single woman looks like. As part of my fall of outdoors, I'm trying to integrate experiences where I get to meet the male species. Every time that I've tried to do that, the places that I end up tend to be proliferated with 24-year-old men screaming at a television about football. For example, my Saturday looks like this. I wake up, I take my dog on a walk, I try to get in a gym class of some sort, Pilates, some kind of stretching class, I take a shower, make a cup of coffee, make my breakfast, and then I try and do about 2 hours of either work or personal, errands. And then from about 12 p.m. until approximately 5 p.m., I try and do something social with my friends. We'll go to a bar to watch a football game, go to the beach for the afternoon, whatnot. And then I typically stay in on Saturday night, order in DoorDash, watch a movie, have a glass of wine, and go to bed. That's the male equivalent of that, so I know where to find you guys during the period of 12 to 5.
Notice how the entire date was perfect while he was providing the experience, car reservation, drinks, food, dessert. The moment the bill enters the picture, the energy changes. This is why men are asking whether they're being appreciated for who they are or simply valued for what they can pay for.
Where do people meet people? Where do men and women meet? Where am I supposed to meet a man? Because at the gym, they glance over, but they don't approach. When you're out partying, it's always for the most, superficial, meaningless thing. You know what I'm talking about. And most of the time they have a girlfriend. Why are you out partying and hitting on girls if you have a girlfriend? And then the dating apps, that probably the worst one, because they're so weird. They're all weird. And you know what? It's also for the same shit as the club. It's all the meaningless, superficial stuff. So where do people meet people? Somebody tell me. I see, really good looking guy, but he has a girlfriend. Where did you meet her? How did that happen? Did you both have a crush on each other and then you just started dating? Because I don't know, it just seems too good to be true, to be honest. You liked her, she liked you, and then things happen. Because me and my friends are all single.
The biggest problem is that she never communicated the expectation beforehand. He thought they were splitting the bill she assumed he was paying, and now he's the villain. This is why men are tired of guessing the rules. If the expectation is traditional, say that up front. Don't ambush a man with a $160 bill and call him wrong for having a different assumption.
Men with no hose. Where are you? What are you?
Gym, working, taking care of responsibilities and priorities, possibly building businesses, trying to leave behind a legacy, building the life that they want so they can establish the future necessary. And some of them are even so lost that they're kind of just trying to figure out what to do with their life. But a vast majority of the good men out there who don't have any hoes, they're just doing life. And they're trying to do everything possible that they can in order to have a better quality of life so that way they can have the future that they desire. And I would bet that every day that you go out, you probably pass one of those dudes. But they in their lane, with their head down, minding their business, grinding and doing their thing because they don't want to waste time or play games. And I would say a vast majority are probably waiting to find the right quality of woman to invest into. Because, like I said, they're tired of games. And the only way to find one is to be different from the majority.
The first guy deserves criticism for canceling that late, but handing your address to a complete stranger because your ego got bruised. That's reckless. Men are expected to absorb every rejection yet on cancel date can push someone into making an impulsive decision like this.
This movement is one of the biggest reasons for the divorce rate, because women have become so masculine. A woman gets in her masculine energy. A lot of times she'll be disrespectful. to her husband. And men don't do well with disrespect. There's surveys that say that 80% of men say they would rather be alone and unloved than to be disrespected. And see, the feminist movement has taken it so far over the years to, it's not just equal rights anymore. Now it's men are being diminished and devalued and demoralized. What do we need men for? We don't need men. We can buy our own cars and we can vote. We can make our own money, run our own businesses. We can even have babies without men. And that makes men feel awful. A man doesn't feel he has anything to contribute to that woman's life. He's got to move on down the road.
Can someone explain to me how a man can go to work all day so his wife can stay home all day, and after a long, hard day at work, he comes home to no punani, no home-cooked meal, and the house is a mess? Like, isn't the point of you staying home all day to make the person who works all day's life a little bit easier, not more stressful?
And Teddy showing up with no plan after being invited last minute tells you everything neither person actually knew what they were doing. Men get criticized for bad dates. But sometimes the whole situation is created by rushing into something with a stranger before basic trust or planning exists.
2 jobs. He works 64 hours a week. Has like 1 day off. Within that 1 day, I want him to go outside with us. He wants to stay home and spend time with us. But I don't want that. I want us to be outside. Am I being reasonable or am I being a bad wife?
He goes outside of the home 6 days a week, and the 1 day he wants to be home, you don't think he's doing enough? He's not allowed to be tired. He's not allowed to want some time at home, the home that he works so hard to pay for. Instead of you saying my husband works so hard, 64 hours a week, ladies, what can I do to make my husband's 1 day off special? Any advice? Instead of you trying to take something off of his plate, you're trying to put something on it. You're trying to make him feel guilty as if he's not doing enough. If he cuts back his hours to be able to spend more time with you and your daughter, you may not be able to live the same lifestyle that you're living now. You may have to go out there and get a full-time job or a part-time job. When someone suggested that to you in your comment section, you said, me, full-time job? LOL. You can't have it both ways. Either he cuts back on the hours to spend more time with you and your daughter, but you have to make some sacrifices at home, or you could cut a tired man some slack. He's trying to give you everything you want and it's still not enough. The issue isn't him not managing his time well. The issue is that you're not
At this point, the man isn't the only problem. She chose this entire situation in a panic. He had no plan to sap her into a bar and left her outside. That's exactly why men should vet. Don't confuse attention with compatibility, and don't keep forcing a date just because you already got dressed.
Managing your expectations well.
Where are my good men? Where are the good men at? Because we got girls out here that have been putting themselves out there in dating and they're tainted. These men out here, these ratchet men, have been tainting the love of girls, and we need to see the good men. Where are the good, respectful men out there?
Is anyone else loving the Facebook groups? Are we dating the same guy? Or, but one thing about them that I think is really funny is now, instead of like trying to find people that you're in a relationship with to see if they're cheating or...
Fellas, planning a date doesn't automatically make you a good date. You still have to be present, reciprocal, and socially aware. If you're touching a stranger too much and refusing to answer simple questions, you're not creating mystery, you're creating discomfort.
Outing someone on a story. There's girls that are like, oh, I've gone on 1 date with this guy, or, oh, I've been talking to this guy. You're not in a relationship. They're not exclusively dating. They've been on maybe a couple dates. And even if you have been on multiple dates, if you haven't had a relationship conversation about being exclusive, anyone could date whoever they want. So, like, when you're going out of your way to try to figure out if the guy that you're not in an exclusive relationship is dating, why? Until you have that conversation, it's none of your business who they're dating, so just assume they are. And if you're wanting something more, then buck up and have the combo. It's weird to me when girls do that. Like, utilize the are we dating the same guy thing for someone that you're in a relationship with and you're trying to figure that out, or you're married to, or you're informing the masses because you found out that someone that's married or in an exclusive relationship is dating someone. But I'm there for the tea and the drama because I think it's absolutely hysterical. Well, it's not hysterical, it's just entertainment. Just glad it's not my life, but definitely there for the tea.
That man was doing a psychological evaluation on a first date like he was conducting an interviews, talking her Instagram, deciding who she's, then diagnosing her because she's single. That's bizarre. Men should avoid that behavior. To confidence doesn't mean acting like you're entitled to analyze a stranger. A red flag. Honestly, may have thought he was being thoughtful or intellectual. The real issue is what they did with it. Men shouldn't be judged for being different, but they should know when their idea of a good date isn't matching the woman's expectations anyway. That's enough for today. Subscribe, hit the notification bell, like, share, and stay tuned for